February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Hey everybody, Luigi369 here. It's been about 2 weeks. I've been very busy with real life stuff, so I haven't really been able to record that much. But we're still here. Not 2-year break, 2-week busyness with work mostly. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of gray areas. Around the whole thing is one big gray area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes. A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. First trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. We alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Thanks, Emma. District Court, courtroom number 9. Hello, Edgeworth. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his... It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Skye has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. Cough up, Queen? Haven't I seen you somewhere? You ordered a caviar lunch, right? Haha, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a Fiesta Bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir? Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. It's so tasty, it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. I forgot how to say that word. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now. Me, the name is Angel Starr. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up! Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Starr was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Starr was a detective? Aha! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up, Queen Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well, you may continue with the description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up the prosecutor's spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of A block in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. Seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. Seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? I hope they're not talking about us, Phoenix. We better be able to get something out of them here. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching! As you can see, there's no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. Back in the saddle, as they might say. Say it with me. Say it with me now. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uniformed opinion is duly noted, given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I thought that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. If I hadn't been laid off by the prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well, you may continue, Miss Starr. Hold it. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? Do you have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. I did that voice wrong, but I don't care. The security guard room is in the lot in A block. It's up on the second level, you can see it, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by the car? Or by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. You sensed something? So you're saying you had a premonition of the murder. It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well he was like a young cheese. Young cheese. A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with the experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then I must be hard, yellowed, and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odor of an odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something stirring in the back of my mind. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth's? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you are sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me? I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard the tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So what was the defendant doing at the time? Holding a knife in her right hand. She's not. Not in that photograph, at least. Tell me more about this knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad supreme surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor? So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point. Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes, the next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that! Alright. I think we got something with this photograph. Moment of the crime. I'm gonna go ahead and make a save. I think we're just presenting this here. Yep. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch. Salmon. Not Salomon. I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture at the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in the photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have them? Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. I about threw up my drink. Jesus. Oh my god. These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder was planned, the rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. Okay, well, we already went through this. We gotta show something that this... I didn't mean to go that far. Murder was planned. Can I not listen to the call? I don't think that's the right evidence to present. Gotta present something. Victim's memo found in the car trunk. Dead within an hour and a half. Parking lot ticket. I'm lost here. No prints. That lines up with gloves. Oh, it's gotta be this. No? Nope. Okay, well, penalty. I'm gonna go ahead and make a save here, just in case. Murderous plan, the gloves prove it. Don't think that's it. No, that's not it. I'm just gonna go ahead and load that save. Huh. Do we just present this again? No. I'm stumped. This is the first time I've been stumped. I don't remember. This is the one case in this game I do not remember at all. Like, what the answers are. Not that. It's not that. It's not the photo. It's not, obviously it's not the Blue Badger. I don't think it'd be the autopsy report. It's not the cell phone. I don't think it's the parking lot floor plans. It's not my attorney's badge. I don't think it's this. It leaves the weapon. It is. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor for the district, right? Mommy, are prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Ugh. Ugh. Order, order, order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now? But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now? Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor has a grudge against the victim. Nothing could drive that human machine to plunge in the knife in again and again. Well, that's not accurate. It was once. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Well, looking over the autopsy when I was going through the last evidence, it was a single stab, not again and again. So, one knife wound. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. My moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. Well, what do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk! He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something for blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. A splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. And tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify! Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Red muffler. Her red muffler? Yes, like a scarf. The chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose. She's right. Skye was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? Oh wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes. Actually, do you think I saw some traces of blood on her chest? However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance! Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Channeling her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, would that depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even really a short wick will burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. It doesn't look... She's not wearing the scarf in this photograph. Miss Starr, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be! Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well, now where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. Well, what? Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might just be the moment of truth. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and had her arrested on the spot. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused by earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel's Star, resistance is futile. You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel's Star. That wasn't a very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Don't bother me with the details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks! Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. We're gonna have to get something out of this. And behind a partition off to her side, I'm assuming that would be the one by the telephone. So where is this partition on the floor plans? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe I should press her for more details. Yeah? I'd like to see this on the floor plans just to be safe. The Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, that she was parked in the B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. There's a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing, the cough-up queen. Lunch lady athlete indeed. It had to have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. She couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. Why did Miss Skye not get away? It's interesting. She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else. But to someone else? Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory... It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the courtroom doesn't need to see, Miss Starr. Doesn't see. Chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone. Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? Do I just present the phone here? No. she made to escape? Can you be more specific? She burst aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté of foie gras. Huh? She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum? There was an oil drum lying outside at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. What's that? She wanted to escape. Why didn't she run the other way? The parking lot entrance! That's right! It doesn't make any sense that she would run behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent, more mysteries! Wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Skye tried to run? I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it! You have to believe me! Nope. That's the most penalties I've gotten. So we have a problem here, I just don't know how to weed it out. Clearly died within an hour and a half of 4 p.m. That means he had to have been stabbed at 4 p.m. and died within the next hour and a half. The call, Edgeworth's car wasn't there. I don't know how to get there. Because 4 p.m., Edgeworth parked his car at 5:12, meaning that the car couldn't have been there. And the call was made at 5:18. Do I present this? No. I'm just gonna get this again. Yeah, we're just getting this again. It's gotta be something here. It's not that. Tried to use the phone on the wall, but use your cell instead. Yeah, the problem was with these two pieces of evidence, with the autopsy report being at 4 and the phone being at 5:18. Maybe not. Couldn't see it. Just figured it out. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Skye. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought that my would-be knight in shining armor, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor? You would be my knight in shining armor prosecutor. I can't talk. You who, together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Skye making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. But what? Order, what is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch, she's coughing up lies. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... She lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Miss Skye using that emergency phone. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very illogical. What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox? Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory. But why would Miss Star lie like that? Huh? Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone but failed? Doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? Oh. Dang, she's right. I mean, maybe she really did see her try to use the emergency phone. I see no room for doubt here. You ordered the tui on rice, right? Mr. Wright, and I thought you had something there. One more try. Alright, well, I would rather not play on one penalty for the rest of the trial, so we're gonna load that. Miss Skye tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Skye using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony we've heard until now points in one direction. The place from which Star witnessed the crime was here. Maybe in the security room. Take that! This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room. Indeed, the security guard room is the underground parking lot is very well in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, wouldn't park in the A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star, how many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has got the better of Angel Star. Order, order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished, and I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty? Is she talking about Miss Skye? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make any sense. Huh? She could have just said where she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. But what? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. The star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? Angle of view. Why, the angle at which she saw the crime occur would change. The angle? What do you mean? Well, the security guard station is on the second floor, and, she would have sort of a more 3D view of the crime. This is important. Why? Alright, I'm not reloading that save. Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright. Okay, yeah. I thought that was because of the photograph. Distance? Yeah. Changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Skye? Well, witness? You... Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. Before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. That would have taken forever. That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. 5 minutes! This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it! I have photographic evidence! I swear it! I swear it on my finest plastic spork! You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely! Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something! Do I have any evidence to stop this? Objection! 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it! You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it, I'm not going to pronounce it. I can pronounce that. I've got lunchboxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank. Isn't that strange? Strange? If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Ah! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But if you have the instincts of a killer, you would run. But this time was different. Miss Skye dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go? Unfortunately, I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright! That was too close. I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Hold it, yep. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me! I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Star. Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Woo, a triple-decker! Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she going to pull out of her lunchbox this time? I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe, did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's. And the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence. What? There was blood found on that shoe! Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed? Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know that the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty solid. You can at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against you, witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Oh boy, another cross-examination on this lady. And another save. How? I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with the shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? There's a problem. I'm not imagining things. I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. I mean, she stepped in blood, apparently. I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, Ricky. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense, the victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about blood on the bottom of this shoe, of his shoe? He was stabbed once. I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it too. You just shot yourself in the foot. Ugh. Okay, well that didn't go well. Well, something's contradictory about the shoe.
Take that!
With no blood. Is that it?
Take that!
The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. Order, order, order! Well, witness? What, huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction. But then we have to ask, why wasn't there a footprint? Oh. That's true, there has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright, think! Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint of the truth in her testimony. But what are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside and kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure I'd like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness, well, was the oil drum empty? The oil drum, kicked over by the chief prosecutor, was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean... Yes, the suspect knocked over that oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. Ah! Is the oil drum knocked over the photo? That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Can we see the oil drum in the picture? Don't look knocked over to me. Boy, that's the prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe? Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please! What? What can I do? Your sister was confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There's no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor. Very well. But Angel Star's on the prosecution's side! She could have been lying about the water! This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye, Little girl? What did you just say? Huh? But me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are! You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing bloody footprints! Well... I thought you had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Well, wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else! The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments and you will be held in contempt of court. Your threats don't scare the cough up, Queen. Look at this. A photograph. I had just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. Wright, wait, look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew we couldn't win this case from the beginning. It seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Get yourself up off the asphalt, take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well, this time I'd like to declare a verdict for good.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait. What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence a proper consideration. So, Wright, are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think it later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph. What's this?
Take that!
The problem is in this photograph. It's here. What's this? There's something poking out of the car's muffler! Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor? You just said muffler. However, I see no traces of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as a pipe, exhaust pipe. I see, and I see! What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to this case.
Take that!
Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler! Ah! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh! Ah! Well, it seems we will have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. That was close. But we made it. At least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry?